was crazy.
Good evening, all you beautiful people, and welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay, also known as Class. Joining me is the Crassy One, your GT85.
Hello.
Like your background, sir. And as usual, we've got Class, Crass, and the man with the very fine ass. Greg, how are you tonight?
What up?
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the end of times. I mean, to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast.
Jeez.
Here we are. Did not think I'd be here a week ago in this situation. How things can change in a week.
Yeah. Shit. Try a couple hours these days.
No kidding. If it is your first time joining us, it is a 1-hour podcast where we talk about all the latest in gaming, which, lots to discuss. We're going to go over what we've been playing over the past week. The major headlines being everything's canceled except gaming time, and best time to go after your backlog now. And then the last 15 minutes is dedicated to your questions, topics, anything else that you guys want to go over. We can do that. Read RP space G. It is a magnificent background. Looks like I've got a quarantini there in my hands. All right.
These jokes are horrible.
There was just one joke, and it wasn't meant to be good.
You had the other one.
Which
It
one?
echoed.
The end of the world.
Oh. How are you, Sean? Are you happier than usual? Or are you grumpier than usual?
I'm
Where are you on a scale of RGT?
I'm annoyed with humanity. But I mean, it don't, shit don't bother me. I'm going to do what I always do. When I need to go buy something at the store, I'm going to go to the store because, people just need to calm the fuck down.
So in times of hoarding, and that's really what it is. We are in the times of hoarding. I have to know, are cigarettes a thing that people hoard? Like, is that a threat to your life that there might not be any cigarettes on the shelf?
No, because you got to look at what people are actually like hoarding, and it doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's
so maybe cigarettes could be because you hoard toilet paper for absolutely. People are hoarding milk because milk. Oh God, yeah, people are hoarding milk because milk doesn't go rotten. It's like it's so dumb.
Cottage cheese, it just evolves.
The thing of it is a lot of your products that you're hoarding are not import products; they're domestic products. Meaning that, like this week, I fully plan on going grocery shopping and seeing nice stock shelves because stock comes into places. Like, ask a manager at your local grocery store. Say, hey, when's your stock coming in? Like, you'll be surprised. But
yeah,
people are just. Luckily, it hasn't been in my area. It hasn't been very chaotic or anything like that. I bring a pocket knife with me just in case I decide on stabbing someone because they get out of line. But
well, I managed to get ahead of it. I went shopping Thursday night at 9 p.m. Shop was empty. Shelves were full. Took my time. I had my little happy mid-40s lady music playing in the background. That music that always puts you in a good mood.
It's not like you can't leave the house, Jason. You can leave the house. Yeah. You're not gonna step outside and drop dead.
No, so here's the funny thing. I've felt no change in my life, which highlights how much of a hermit life I actually live. Like this past weekend, everybody's like, "Oh, we're like in quarantine, we can't get out." I'm like, this is just like
you know what it's very similar to? It's very similar to when a blizzard or a hurricane is coming and people freak the fuck out and they stock up on a bunch of shit that they probably don't need in the first place, and then it's like this too shall pass. Like, what are you gonna do? What's some 10 boxes of rice-a-roni gonna do for you? Like, you eat those 10 boxes and then just die because you can't leave the house again? Like,
how is it in your end of the world, Greg?
It varies from place to place. It varies from place to place. I do work in digital advertising, and a lot of places are limiting, additional people. Even our company was given direction was sent to us to not be at the office if we could avoid it at all costs. So stores, I mean, I haven't really, other than like the salad bar being closed down at my local
The
grocery
salad
store.
bar? That's
I mean, I haven't really, I haven't been out too much. I mean, we're like Costco shoppers, so we pick up a bunch of stuff. I mean, we've been stocked for months, but I mean, haven't really felt much of it.
yeah. Well, the worst I felt is tossing myself fully into event planning might not have been the wisest decision in 2020. So I am now not only unemployed, but entirely out of work. So if anybody has some work to throw at me, I am now for hire. But anyways, let's get into, Greg just left us. Okay, let's get into what we've been playing.
I'm coming back.
Don't leave us, Greg.
They quarantined him because he went outside.
Get your hands off me.
Are you talking to your girlfriend or to the dog?
They were quarantining me.
Sean, what have you been playing?
I've actually been playing a lot of Call of Duty Warfare, but only the plunder version of the game because I like it. I think it's fun, and 90% of people that play it, much like many people in the world, are absolute fucking morons who don't understand the end goal of it, which I don't understand why they don't understand it because it's a pretty simple concept. But I find myself having a lot of fun playing it. Most of my teammates are absolute asshats, so I just go ahead and do my own thing and have fun playing by myself.
Is the point of it to find the booty and then you plunder
The point of it is there's cash deposits all over the map, and the first team to get $1 million wins. So if you get killed, so let's say you're holding like $100,000. If you get killed, your cash goes into half to $50,000. You can pick up cash balloons to deposit your money on the fly, or at a certain point or a certain time in the map, there will be areas where you can go and deposit your cash via airplane. But of course, people will be trying to take you out as well while you're doing that. It's very fun though, because you have the big open map that you would have in a battle royale game, and you have a large amount of people playing it, and there's a bunch of different vehicles you can use as well. But it still feels kind of unique, I guess, because of the aspect of plunder isn't. There's a separate battle royale mode that's just a standard battle royale, and then plunder is its own game type. I haven't touched maybe I played one battle royale game, but I've just been playing plunder, and I think it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Anything else?
Nothing really worth mentioning. Yeah. Nothing that comes off the top
Fun
of my head.
week.
I mean, it's a good game. You can just lay in. I have my Xbox One in my bedroom, so I mean, it takes like a half hour for each match. Huh. So unless you quit, so I mean, it lasts you a while, and it's free. So I mean, why would I mean, I've been playing other shit, but as far as like actually playing something a lot, I played more Dreams too. There's a really cool Seinfeld level. It's like a Seinfeld horror game. It's really fucking weird. Like, you're playing as Jerry's nephew, and you're in his apartment, and like things go awry. So you have to you go into Kramer's apartment, and there's like a Chucky doll that tries to kill you, and then you have to like go outside and go to the restaurant, and like weird shit happens at the restaurant, and it's really fucking weird, but it's super fun.
Sounds like you're having a good time with it.
Yeah, Dreams is super cool. I still like it a lot.
How about you, Greg?
So I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone, the like actual battle royale portion to it, but I think it's cool because it's free to play, it's cross-platform, and I was already playing the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer and playing through those modes and stuff, and so I was accustomed to the layout of the current Call of Duty. And then I played with my buddy who's on PS4 while I'm on Xbox, and kind of like Sean said, it's like the Xbox is in our living room here, so it's easy just to kick back and sit on my couch and play and be able to talk to friends, and I don't know, it's just, I mean, it takes some getting used to, because every battle royale is different, but I mean the majority of the aspects of the game are the same. Pick up some armor, some health, some grenades, and all that stuff, and make your way around the map. But I didn't find myself dying too soon. And then even if you do die, your teammates can buy you back in. You can go to the gulag and like fight your way out. It's like a 1v1 arena, and so that's pretty cool. You can just on skill you can get back into the game and stuff. Been playing a lot of that. Played a little bit of some just some retro games, and played my NES a little bit more since I got it working again, and just the usual stuff, but that's about it.
We play such different games, all of us. Well, actually, no, you guys play more similar games, I find, than when I play.
Well, I played a little bit of the original Ori because I've never played it. So
I downloaded the new one, but I haven't started it yet.
I finished Ori, 99%. So the last thing I have to pick up are all of these like little orbs of money, which are the least satisfying things to get because I don't want to buy anything. So it's just a matter of getting that 1%. Oh, and I have to do a few time trials, which are speed runs that I don't care for. But I put up a review of that up on the channel yesterday, but it's a pretty good game. It's about a 10-hour playthrough, and it's a step forward for the Ori franchise, but otherwise it's nothing too crazy. Really, really good motion. I really love just running around as Ori. Did that and got back into Dragon Quest Builders 2, almost done the second island. That game just consumes my life. And then I've just been like dabbling. Like, when you got nothing to do except gaming, you're just like, well, I can't game all day, and then you just go from game to game. So I'm just like going through my backlog. I'm like, oh, let's make a little bit more traction in Hyrule Warriors, see if I can get that to an eventual 100% completion, maybe by the time I retire. And Jedi Fallen Order, got back into that, just started trophy hunting, all that stuff. So I think it's going to be a lot of that for the next week, just dabbling in a bunch of games, just advancing their completion rates a bit, trying to find meaning and purpose. In
life.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that's about it. Yeah, so nothing too exciting. It's not this week, right? That the Animal Crossing and Doom come out? Is it this week? It's Friday, right?
Yeah, it's this week.
It's 20, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Greg. My beard looks like a smudge of dirt, just a little bit here, a little bit here. RPG, it's kind of hard. I'll admit the Dragon Quest Builders 2, it's fun. The quests are fun. Building is fun. But my God, I don't know who translated this or who thought it'd be fun to have so many text boxes. But every NPC and every character has to run their mouth off of the most mundane things ever. And it's not even interesting to read. It's just so much padding and text that you'll just start skipping it after a while because it's not even useful. It's just people repeating things over and over. It's just boring. Juan, I'm glad you asked. What's better, Ori, Will of the Wisp, or Hollow Knight? That's exactly what my review is about. It compares the two games, and it tells you which is better value. It does not say that, but it compares the two and shares my thoughts about which is better. It's Hollow Knight, though. Spoiler. So, other big news for the week. We have E3 that's officially canceled. So our gaming industry events is just disappearing in the face of that.
Buddy.
And of course, we're not the only industry affected by this, but how, this is an interesting conversation. I think that we all have different points of views to share of how is this global situation going to affect gaming for 2020, and from your point of view. Maybe we're going to see the impacts more in 2021 than 2020, but do you guys think we're going to see any impact this year? Do you think it's going to be next year? I suspect that the whole reason we're not getting a Nintendo Direct right now is because Nintendo is not going to come out and being like, hey, here's some new games, while every new hour there's some new piece of news about what you should be doing in your house.
That's horrible and stupid thinking, and there's no logic behind it.
Nintendo is known for not releasing Nintendo Directs when there are global situations happening.
No, that once again, that's okay. The one time was when there was a fucking tsunami in Japan. That's a little bit different, so it impacted the actual presentation. You're sitting there doing a pre-recorded presentation from a quarantined area to begin with. No, that's
you think that right now in this dark news cycle that we're in, Nintendo would be like, yeah, stay tuned for Nintendo Direct. Here are all the cool games coming up.
Because people are fucking tired of all the negativity and all the bullshit.
I agree with you, but you think a corporation like Nintendo would think that way?
Yes.
I don't. Greg? You're muted.
Sorry, my bad. I was saying maybe they like do end up doing one, but it's like completely lighthearted, or it's only positive news or something along those lines. I think it's like PR. I'm sure they're treading lightly, and if they do decide to do something, it's going to be like very vanilla.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that they could do, would be like announce delays and cancellations to all their games.
Yeah.
Well, things are getting canceled. Here are a few more. But yeah, so we have no GDC, which, that event often creates a lot of opportunities for indie developers to get discovered, find publishers, go to market. So those are consequences I don't think we're going to see flourish until 2021, with maybe we're going to see a slower release of good indie games, or maybe we're going to see like a surge when all of this energy catches up and suddenly, everyone's trying to get back on time. So maybe we might see a surge of really good games coming out in 2021. I don't know. With E3 gone, I think that's way more of an interesting conversation, because E3's been teetering on this fence of people saying it's not useful anymore, you don't need it anymore, and now they've kind of have this situation where it doesn't matter what people think, they just can't have it anymore. Will the show go on for consumers? Yes, I think we're all going to see digital presentations. We're all seeing the companies move to that.
Yeah, and I've seen other alternatives from the gaming industry, approaching outlets and things like that with alternatives to what they would normally show at E3.
What do you mean?
I can't really say, but there's a lot of PR companies looking to still get out in front of outlets and
how dare they in this time of tragedy and horrible news. See, that's the logic you just gave. So now we're not going to do E3 announcements because those games could be delayed.
No, I'm not saying you don't announce anything good in the next 3 months. I'm saying right now, where North America is in its crisis mode of, we need to do, the governments are reacting right now and are doing things. So,
It's worse in Europe, though.
Well, I don't have any insights into like what's going on in the ground in Europe.
They literally said it's the epicenter of the virus in Europe.
Yeah, there's a couple guys like Steve that
I don't even watch the news, and fucking how do I know more than you?
I don't know. The point is, I'm saying in the next week or two, as things are moving fast, it's not the time to be dropping a Nintendo Direct to promote your games. From a corporation's point of view.
Why?
Because you're just going to get drowned out in the news cycle.
No, you're not. By who? CNN?
Okay.
MSNBC?
Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out.
The companies that don't care about video games to begin with?
Okay, so you're telling me Breath of the Wild 2 gets announced for, like, let's say August, something like that. Internet starts trending Breath of the Wild 2 hashtag. An hour later, the American government shuts down its borders to everyone and everything, and nobody can leave the country or come into the country. You don't think that's going to kind of overshadow a video game news?
They're two different spectrums, Jason. The people that are constantly watching for every minuscule update about things that are going on are not the same people who are looking at Nintendo Directs and looking forward to Nintendo Directs and things like that. The cross between those two people is very minimal, I would feel.
So you think the directs are for those people, just those people, not to try and get a little bit of mainstream attention?
When was the last time a direct got real mainstream attention? You give too many when you try to argue with me.
I'd say the original Switch announcement was pretty mainstream.
Well, fuck. I mean, that's a fucking console, not just games for the console. You put too many hypotheticals in your arguments with me. I look at it from a realistic standpoint.
As a consumer standpoint, corporations are more paranoid.
How? I'm not a standard consumer.
No, you're not.
Oh, look. I agree with Sean here. I disagree. People or gamers are kind of depressed. Nintendo Direct would help right now.
Yes, I agree. As consumers,
putting out change.org. Consumers are the people who buy your product. They're the people that care about your product, Jason. They're the ones you need to keep happy.
Okay, I'm coming across wrong here. What I'm saying is marketing agencies, marketing departments tend to be very paranoid about what's going on, very sensitive to what's going on around them when they announce things. And I'm saying they might be a little bit sheepish to announce something as big as a Nintendo Direct right now when everybody left and right are announcing shit. Not necessarily good shit.
And like, I mean, I completely understand, kind of both sides of the
argument. Back me up,
here.
Greg.
And I'm going to have to back up Jason.
Wow.
Thank you. Wait, you said you will?
I feel because I work in that vein of the industry for my full-time job, there are people nervous about the situation because, the majority of the time their goal is to drive more people to these places. And that's just a big question mark in general going out to shop or pre-order or people in public. And I feel like if anything, if the time was to do it during these news announcements and this news cycle, it would be, as more cases start to get cleared or a vaccine or something where they don't have to compete with the other news out there. And it's like, I could just picture a situation, a kid being excited that, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out and they're like, we don't give a shit, Timmy. There's people dying out there, or something like that.
Or you're missing the Nintendo Direct because you're fighting someone in line for some toilet paper.
No, you're supposed to be quarantined, asshole. You're supposed to stay home.
Yeah, but you ran out of toilet paper. What are you supposed to do?
You. You're supposed to stay home and be terrified out of your mind. You take a shower. You use a T-shirt. You use your Hey J merchandise to wipe your ass.
I don't even have Hey J merchandise.
Do
you have RG T-shirts though? I would definitely wipe my ass with
the Hey J bidet. I would buy.
Ooh, I like your way of thinking. But we did get some news, and I think this is Nintendo dipping their toe in the news cycle by putting out chunky Lego Mario out.
Dude, I was shocked when they did that. I was like, there's so much panic and chaos right now.
So sassy tonight.
You're talking about a combination of Lego and Mario, like a huge announcement about a brand new toy line that was totally overshadowed by the gaming media because of real world of. Oh, wait, it wasn't. It was one of the most popular topics of the week. And
it was not one of the most. It was one of the most popular topics because it was one of the only topics. Let's be real. That Lego set, do you guys like that Lego set? I don't like it. I don't like Chunky Mario. When I want Legos, I want the little minifig, not some big thing that I have to grasp in a clutch grip to play with.
I like it.
What?
I was hoping on the tease that his like little animation, the coin and all that digital stuff was like going to be real, and I thought it was really cool that they actually did that. Yeah.
But like that's just gonna die. The battery's gonna die in a year. It's gonna have like a glitchy eye that's winking at you, and it's just gonna go like. Yeah, exactly. Like it's so Nintendo gimmick, and it's gonna lose its appeal in like 3 weeks. Like, where's everybody's Nintendo Labo right now?
I mean, you're not wrong. The timing of the announcement was horrible, and the PR company should be chastised and quarantined.
Let it go.
Because it's a perfect counterpoint to your point. They could have easily delayed that announcement. Easily.
Okay, things escalated very quick in the last week, okay? Announcing that
Things have been escalating. If you watch the news, things have been escalating on a worldwide scale, Jason. Canada and America aren't the only places in the world. There are multiple countries in the world. You know where these are being manufactured? Probably not in the good old US of A. Fuck. Fearmonger.
Thank
Jason
you,
is a fearmonger.
How am I a fearmonger? Because I'm saying marketing agencies are scared to announce games?
They weren't scared of the Legos, man.
They should have been.
Nuts.
Or the G's.
Why?
Or the because they're ugly. Those Lego sets are ugly. Think about it.
The
When
Levi's?
you're like, think about Star Wars Lego sets. It's a ship. You build it. It's cool. Look at these Mario Lego sets. It's like 10 pieces to make. So like, it's Mario. The whole thing is the big chunky Mario. The play set is just like a kid who threw up 10 Lego pieces and you just run Mario over it. It's garbage. Like, give me Bowser's Castle. Give me a freaking airship. No, we just get a pipe with like 10 pieces attached to it. It's really disappointing.
Maybe it's like a game.
It is a game. It's a gimmicky game.
You're a board game.
Okay.
I don't really care because I don't play with Legos.
Have you ever played with Legos?
No.
What was your toy of choice as a kid?
I had Lincoln Logs.
Oh my god! Not again.
I have a vague memory of this conversation.
No.
We had this
Were those
conversation.
trains?
No, it's a fuck. What part of Lincoln Log sounds like a train? They're literally brown bricks that look like shit, and there's long ones, and then there was rounded ones, and then there are flat ones that you can use for the roof, and then there are short little stumpy ones to build up the side, and you basically built log cabins.
Okay. Well, was there another toy outside of that?
I liked marbles.
Really? You were a marble kid?
Well, like I mean, not like the stupid. I don't know. I guess there's like different parts of marbles. I had like the pieces where you would build like a cool like amusement park thing, like a roller coaster. No, kind of like Mousetrap. Yeah, it was like a roller coaster thing, and you'd put the marble at the top, and then it would go down all the things.
Were you ever into Pogs?
Oh fuck yeah! I still have Pogs.
Like, did you play or did you just collect?
No, motherfucker, we played.
With the slammer?
Yeah. Oh, I get my Pog collection.
Oh boy. How about you, Greg? What'd you play with as a kid?
A lot of Ninja Turtles, some of the X-Men action figures, a lot of the X-Men action figures. Some like we played outside a lot. Like we played dodgeball, football, and rode our bikes around the neighborhood.
Did you have like close siblings to play with?
Yeah, so my brother's 2 years older than me, and my sister's 2 years younger. And then like our neighborhood wasn't the greatest, but you know we still were out riding bikes and getting into trouble and shit.
How were your Pogs within hand's reach like that? You had that thing. Wow, that's a flex.
They're in the game room.
I remember those who had the like official Pog board game.
I'm not a cheap ass here. I have a bunch of slammers and stuff and standard Pogs and the thing. Here's some of the cooler ones. These are Super Mario Brothers, the movie Pogs.
Are you going to be selling
Still
them?
Sealed. Shut the fuck up. And yes, my O.J. Simpson Pog collection.
What? Trail of Blood.
Oh my god.
Got Nicole Brown Simpson, the Shapiro, the White Ford Bronco. Doesn't have Kato Kalin though. I was kind of surprised at that.
I had the Power Rangers movie Pogs and the
Limited
Gargoyle
edition.
animated show Pogs that I remember.
It's back on Disney Plus, isn't it?
What, Gargoyles?
Yeah.
See, I only like the official Pogs really. Like these are my unofficial Pogs, but like I don't know. There's just something because the other they call them Milk Cat.
Yeah, there were some really shitty Pogs back then. I remember like some, the people that were just trying to get in on the craze.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They were like paper thin.
Yeah, they were so garbage. And then like
I did not have. Are you talking about Karate Fighters? The ones that you would put a dude and another dude and you kick each other until one of them fell off.
Mm-mm.
Well, there was the.
I was talking to someone in the chat. But like the official Pogs. Like these are the,
Yeah, I can see some gloss on that. Like that's good stuff.
Yeah, you got gloss.
That's the good stuff.
Oh, it even says Pog on like official Pog on the back too, right?
Oh yeah. And got an official slammer here.
Oh yeah, I had that one.
Oh yeah,
these things stink. Oh god, they smell.
What do they smell like?
Just like old.
Man.
Old thing.
We got more in here. It's cool. It's cool.
All right, we got off topic a lot, and I pretty much, got attacked for having an opinion. So let's hear your opinion, Mr. Sean. What's this year going to be like? Is everything just going to be a usual for gaming? No E3?
Well, I mean, that's kind of a two-part question.
Okay.
I did not have those, D-Dub. Sorry, I'm interacting with your chat.
It's our chat.
It's your show.
It's our show. Own it. Together.
Can't be associated with you.
So I think that on a
tinfoil
daily
hat.
basis.
Well, I gotta put away the OJ pogs. What was I doing? What am I talking about? The gaming industry.
Yes.
I think there will be some ramifications. I think there's the potential. Why is this? Well, there we go. I think that something like one of the big mysteries right now is the Series X and the PS5. A random analyst said that they could potentially be delayed until 2021 now, which I think that's something that could potentially happen depending on, how long it takes for people to get back to normal and how long, real world events take to fizzle out. On the game side of things, it's just kind of hard to tell because really the first half of 2020 we pretty much know about, and the second half of 2020 we don't know jack shit about. Look at the PlayStation 4 lineup. Really, the Xbox One, Halo Infinite is the game that's talked about. Nintendo, we don't know jack shit about that. So, that's sort of up in the air. That's sort of up into interpretation as well. So I feel like even if there were some big changes aside from new hardware, they might not be changes that we would even realize because a lot of the second half of the year has been left so open this entire time.
Okay. Here's another. Well, actually, before I go into that, Greg, what do you think? With no E3, how do you think that's going to affect no E3, no GT? All these events canceled. What do you think that's going
to? Okay, Jesus fuck!
God, you're cranky tonight.
Because you keep saying dumb shit.
What am I saying? I'm saying facts. Things are canceled.
There's no E3, so there's going to be no video game announcements.
That's not what I said.
That's what you're insinuating.
I'm saying, how is it going to change with no events? What's going to happen?
It's not, because the events are still happening. Microsoft is doing an all-digital presentation during that week. Nintendo is more than likely doing an all-digital presentation during that week. Ubisoft is already doing a digital presentation during that week. Greg has already said that companies are adapting to it. That whole week that's there for E3, that is when a lot of people pay attention to video games. And that's not necessarily going away because of the conference going away itself. It's just the distribution of the materials that would have been used in the conference. Square Enix is already doing something as well. They've already confirmed it. Like they are still planning on doing things during that time frame because that time frame is already sort of set in stone. You don't need to have a brick and mortar building to go into to see these events in person because the average person doesn't do that anyways. It's just people in California and industry people who fly in for these events.
Okay, so you don't think you done?
Go on.
So you don't think that all of this disruption is going to affect the marketing budgets that were outlined for the year now that there's these big...
Yeah, they will affect them in a positive way because now they don't have to spend money to build these grandiose sets and showcase their games on the E3 show floor.
Correct. So now you end up with these bags full of money, and these departments, they need to spend that money. That's just how it works. So you don't think that
you know where you put that money into? You put that money into YouTube. You put that money into YouTube advertisements because that's where you're going to get all of your video information on the games that are talked about. These companies are going to stream on YouTube and Twitch and other platforms that allow for video streaming. And then the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers are going to talk about what they saw, what they liked, and what they disliked. So that's where you put all of that marketing money into, that marketing money that you just have sitting around because now you don't have that E3. You don't have to spend all this money to build these crazy sets and do all these other things. You now have a more streamlined experience, which will actually probably benefit your company in the long run because you're spending less money.
It's a good idea, but before I add to that, Greg, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, that there are still, you're still missing out on a portion of those individuals that are getting like hands-on experience. I'm sure they'll move, because most of the time you see something that's at E3 presented, and then a few months later or a month later a beta, some sort of beta, and it's relatively close to the launch. So I think you're going to see people, maybe more campaigns to get people to sign up for things like open betas or multiplayer betas, especially the games that they didn't have hands-on time with at the show. And I think advertising, to Sean's point, that I think it will a lot more move into digital advertising, on more platforms, outside of Twitch and YouTube. I think there's just far more reach by utilizing other platforms other than Twitch and YouTube, even though it still hits the core of the audience. But
and another thing I would like to say is that in this all digital age that we are somewhat in right now, at least for this year, when it comes to things like video game conferences, it's not like those demos that are available on the show floor can't be distributed. Because they can. You could literally turn on your fucking console and download a demo. You put a timed demo. Maybe you could play this game for 3 days and check it out. Or you just simply upload the demo that you would have available on the show floor to the console that it's on, to the console that's indicative of. And that's a whole nother avenue that they've not really explored. Yes, you had things like shadow drops of games, but I'm talking about just a demo of an upcoming game, the way a demo was intended to be done. Now, instead of having to cater to these people on the show floor and have also your systems on the show floor, now you can simply digitally distribute this demo to anyone in the world who has your console so that they can check it out. If anything, I honestly feel like gamers that don't attend E3 are going to have a better E3 experience, possibly the best E3 experience that they've ever had, because these companies are going to have to adapt and change. And if they go through with it the way that I think they should go through with it, it'll be the best experience that they've had. The only people that are really upset about it are the industry people, which they have a right to be. But at the same time, it's like,
so then you're saying that there will be change, but that's going to be a positive change for the consumer and fans.
I think so. I think that does, open up. I think it opens up a new set of problems, but that's just, growing pains for the industry, because, on the E3 show floor, a demo is in a controlled environment. It's on dev systems. You have people that are monitoring what you're doing, where you're going. And then, once that's been fleshed out, usually, months down the road is the demo that's released to the public, and has been there's been troubleshooting and all that sort of stuff. So I think that they will have to take measures, because especially if it's releasing on console and PC, not everyone is built the same. And I think, it's a big unknown to publicly release it. Well, and the thing of it is that companies should be very happy that they decided to cancel E3 already, because now they have the rest of March, April, May, June, and essentially a week and a half of June to sort of plan and figure out these things. They have more than enough time to adapt to what is happening here, I feel. I mean, This is your livelihood. This is your big thing that was taken away from you. So now you don't have to worry about getting this company to build this set for you and, have all these people here. Now you can actually hone in on what E3 should be about. And that's really the games, and do things on your own terms, on your own time, on your own dime, instead of having to worry about, a massive show floor with a massive event where a million different things can go wrong.
Yeah, and I think this is going to open up a lot of collaboration efforts too, whether it's by influencers or by even companies like Kind of Funny, how they've been doing the showcases for the last 2 years for, I think they're going to heavily benefit from circumstances like this by, doing another digital showcase. But now, with others that would have gone to the show floor to been a part of Xbox or PlayStation or whatever.
Greg, going back to a point you said a bit earlier about the demos being in a controlled environment on the show floor, and then they get polished off and get released. Do you really think that they go back and tinker the demos? And I'm asking that from a position where a lot of the demos, we see at E3 often come out a week before the game. Or yes, they do get tinkered.
Yeah.
You're saying?
Oh yeah. Because I mean, a lot of times, the demo will crash when you're starting to play it, or they'll have to restart it, or some animation isn't working, or it's supposed to trigger, something else. And this is a team that's pulled together to bring something playable, just for the show floor. And then, oftentimes and that's the kind of, I guess, the benefit to having press cover it, is that they'll, critique it as a reviewer or preview or impressions, or however the game made them feel. And so if audiences can relate to that, then it just provides more feedback for the development team. Because I mean, I've even received emails post E3 like, thank you for your feedback, we saw the article that you posted, down the road we're gonna work on these things, and we're hoping to have you maybe try the game in the future, or something like that. Or we understood what you said, and please fill out the survey, or those types of things. So I don't know. I again, it's just making adjustments as the industry evolves.
Do you think, though, in a world without E3, there would be more forgiveness for the developers to actually, like, let's say this June, all the major developers, they're like, here's E3 week. Here are the demos of the games coming out later, and maybe they're just as buggy as the ones you've experienced on E3. But do you think that there'd be more forgiveness all around? It's like, yeah, we get to play the demos, like consumers. That's great. They get to play the demos, even if they're buggy, and they can patch just like they patch any other game. Like that seems to me like still like a win-win in that situation.
I mean,
here's the thing about the demo feedback. You can have so much more demo feedback.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you have you can even make it so there's some sort of incentive to do the survey. Like, did you like this game? We'll do the survey. Did you not like this game? Do the survey. When the game comes out, you'll get an exclusive skin or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting potentially hundreds of thousands, maybe even more, impressions on your game, rather than 100, or I mean, that might even be kind of high, but 50.
But then again, the quality and the quantity of it, that's, I mean, I'm sure it's going to open up to more like, your game sucks. I can't believe this game is trash. Play this shit. Fuck these guys. I mean, God, there's people destroying their entire PlayStation setups at home because Horizon went to the PC.
Oh my God, that was a news piece.
That was fake. The guy confirmed that it was just a gag.
But I mean, even so, there's still people upset.
Oh, yeah, there's people like that,
which is crazy to me. And and it's one of those things, like, this is like, if somebody plays a demo released to them, it's their one opportunity to make a great first impression. And if it's shit, then
that's true.
I mean, again, it's the evolution of the industry.
Matthew Hammond makes a good point about Daemon X Machina.
Yeah,
they did a demo on that. They took the feedback on it, and it made for a better game. That was public feedback too.
Yeah,
that should be an industry standard, I feel.
But then that game flopped. But is it because of the genre, or is it because of copyright strikes? It's
because of the genre, like fucking.
And they wouldn't let anybody cover it.
Well, yeah. There was those problems too. So
just a quick shout out to Matt too, by the way. I just saw your donation for $8 saying get a Corona and lime on me. I will once I brave the liquor store sometime this week. Oh yeah, you brought up a good point, Sean, earlier about the perspective of putting all those marketing dollars into YouTube and streamers and all that. I was actually thinking earlier, like, just how all the industries are getting disrupted and how everybody's affected. And I was wondering, this was something I was going to ask you eventually, if YouTubers are seeing a drop in their CPMs, because my theory is, well, are people, like right now, like just this next week or two, are people still, like, are ads still going out, or are people pulling back ads right now? And that was just the question I had, so you remind me of that. But you did bring up a good point. It does make sense for specifically the gaming companies to double down and take all that E3 money.
like if I have to be real with you, I think if anything, CPMs will go up because
so?
more companies are going to want to put their advertisements in there. All because there's a lot of shit going on right now. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real. A lot of companies are just like, whatever, we need to make money. So they're going to look at the more popular avenues to make money. And with the vast majority of people being at home, I feel like television and to some extent YouTube and, platforms like that, that's what people are going to be doing. They're going to be watching television. They're going to be watching YouTube. A lot of people are tired of watching television because when you turn on the fucking television, you can't watch your sports anymore. So take sports, for instance. A lot of companies are going to take their advertisements that they would have used for sporting events and want to put them into shit that people are watching. You're either going to put that into news channels or you're going to want to put that into a more open platform where people who are tired of hearing all of the negativity and are just wanting to, live life. That's what people are doing. Well, I mean, there's people talking about it on YouTube too, but you could shift your way away from things like that if that's what you want to. Like television right now is just fucking. You know what television made me do? Maybe get Disney Plus because I was like,
you just got Disney Plus.
Yeah, I wanted to watch The Simpsons, and like, really, that's all I've been doing the past couple days. Like, I'll play some games, I'll wear my pajamas and watch some Simpsons. I'll work on some videos. Like,
yeah, that's a very good take, very positive take. I hadn't thought of it, but this disruption could be more problematic for like the old institutions versus the newer ones. And when I say newer, like the YouTube, Twitch, like even though it's 10, 15 years old, newer compared to television. And
I mean, people like even when I was out and about, like the people that are out and about range from all sorts of ages, races, sexes, and just like people in general seem to be getting tired of all of the negativity. The unfortunate thing is, and I'll probably get some heat for this. The unfortunate thing is, if you try to something I've noticed on social media and kind of why I've been distancing myself on Twitter is if you're not on Twitter sort of playing into the fear mongering, if you're trying to look at it from a positive perspective, even if you're coming with factual statements, you will get drowned out and you will get chastised as well. Like I saw someone say, talk about their personal experience of having the coronavirus, and people were berating him in the comments for his views on it and how it affected him personally. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you sitting in your little fucking house, terrified out of your mind? And this is an individual who experienced it firsthand and had the virus, and you're going to sit there and cast stones at this individual? So it's an unfortunate thing. I mean, that's just how social media is in general, though. I feel like if you don't go with the hive mind mentality, people will just rip you apart. And it's sad to me that the fear and the panic is the proper mindset that you're supposed to have, and you're not supposed to be positive or upbeat or look on the bright side of things or just be optimistic about it. If you're not being pessimistic, then you're the bad guy, and it's just.
Well, I don't think you're going to get berated that much for that opinion because it's
I have seen it. I've seen it firsthand.
But
strict policy is like no politics.
I never talk about shit. Like I have most of the words muted and shit like that. I just happen to see it because somebody, a friend of mine was talking about it, and they worded it so that my filters didn't pick it up. And it was absolutely crazy for me to see this person who had it just get absolutely destroyed.
To take a step back from just any major problem, what you're seeing are two forces, like two really strong sides coming together, where you have one side specifically for this situation. You have one side which is pushing the urgency because a lot of stuff needs to happen, and if you're not ringing the bell, those things aren't going to happen. And you have this other side that's like, well, if you ring the bell too hard and too fast, negative things are going to happen. You have two sides that are coming at it from good intentions, and one that's saying, we have to prepare, and another side, well, we have to prepare, but keep in mind these facts. And, you're getting this collision. I think on social media, you always see the two extremes. And maybe in this case, now, because we're seeing more traction in the take and prepare, as Marceau here was saying, like there is kind of this global movement now to the flatten the curve hashtag, which is there is this raising the awareness and getting action to happen, and that's kind of overtaking right now. We got to do that, but let's just remember these facts and let's not panic and scare, but let's do what's smart for society and for everyone.
People are essentially taking a week or two off of life, and they can reassess their lives and
to slow down the impact to the system. It's not to slow down death or to slow down crazy pandemic. It's to not stress the systems. That's the important part.
All right, Q&A time.
Yeah, we're lightning round. Let me get the card going here. Lightning. As Sean said, it's the lightning round. Toss up your questions, topics, and he's going to go through them all.
First question. Hey, Jay, will your son stay with you for 2 weeks?
So here in Ontario, Canada, it's March break. So it's like spring break. So he was actually off this week. And now he gets an extra 2 weeks off after. So he's off for 3 weeks. I have him half the time. So he's upstairs playing with like Labo or something.
Do you think, fuck you, super nerd. Do you think Half-Life, I haven't streamed in so long that I don't even remember how to like set up my stream key and shit. I don't know.
You can put me on your background, but you can't stream.
Yeah. I mean, I could figure it out, but I don't know.
What is the story with virtual highlight?
It's the worst fucking game ever made.
And you have it?
Yeah, I think I do.
What's it on?
I'm pretty sure I do. Sega Saturn. I remember it's the only game I ever rented and returned, and I had to walk like a mile and a half and return it because my mom refused to take me back to the store. You literally start because it was a piece of shit and it fucking sucks. Like you literally start out and you're some asshole and it looks like this fucking 3D world, but everything is just 2D. And you're walking around and some fucking tree with a mouth starts biting you. And like next thing you know, you're dead. It's absolutely
You just
horrible.
reminded me. I played Sonic Forces the other day. Same thing.
Yeah, fuck
also
you.
garbage.
Sonic Forces is a good game.
Did you get past the first boss?
I beat the game. I'm not a fucking scrub.
How do you attack the first boss? Because I can't figure it out.
It's been 2 years since I played that game.
Okay.
Do you guys think Half-Life Alyx will be good? It is a VR game, so by default, it will not be.
The only gameplay I found of Virtual Highlight, somebody speedrunning it, and it's so terrible.
It's terrible. I think AVGN ended up doing a video on it, but I have hated that game ever since middle school. What is your favorite cheese to put on a burger? White American.
Oh, I gotta go cheddar. Sharp cheddar.
Jalapeno cheddar.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the yellow American.
Pepper jack.
What is the best game to play in a 14-day quarantine? Fallout, because that's what people want you to think your world
Dragon Quest Builders too, because there's so much game in there. And it's creative. You can just go on forever.
You love terrible games. We'll play. I'm actually thinking of doing a video about bad games that I love for stupid reasons.
Can you name one?
Revolution X.
I don't know that one.
I remember it at the arcade.
Yeah, the home console versions were fucking... Can't wait for Deadly Premonition 2. I agree. Didn't Daemon X Machina still like not review all that well? It got like 7s and stuff like that. It's a mech game, and I feel like that's a very niche genre. And the game also released at a very poor time because there was like so many games that came out right around it for the Switch. It just kind of got drowned out. It was always going to be the casualty. I've been playing Sonic Forces with my 7-year-old there past 2 days, and I don't really know where all the negative press comes from. We're having a blast with it. It comes from assholes like this guy on my background right here, this mean mug individual who does not understand the greatness.
Sonic sucks.
Do I like the Sega Ages games of old Sega games? Yes. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy any of the games that don't interest me. So like a game like Space Harrier, I don't really give a shit about Space Harrier. But like Sonic 2, I bought that. Virtual Racing was absolutely fucking fantastic. Like I couldn't believe they did like the 8 players on one console for it. Like that was just so cool. So yes, I definitely dig the Sega Ages stuff. Well, what's a hidden gem that you else does?
What's a what?
A hidden gem game.
Armilla.
You know what? Garfield Caught in the Act. So many people hate that game. Eric played it on a stream. He hated it. Joe was playing it on Joe from GameSack was playing it to maybe put in a game or in one of his videos. He hated it too. I don't know why. They find it like so hard. Like everyone's like, how do you beat the first boss? I can't beat the first boss. And it's like, I was a fucking kid and I figured it out. You wait for Odie to go into the coffin. And then when Odie goes into the coffin, you get on top of the coffin and then you jump up and you grab the little sunshade and then you pull the sunshade and the sun shines in and then Odie comes out of the coffin. Thus, since he is a vampire, the sun rays hurt him. Rinse and repeat 3 times. Move on to the next one.
Damn, you kill Odie?
Well, he's a vampire.
It's rough. I can't think of a hidden gem right now.
Dude, Dynamite Cop on Dreamcast. It's
Nobody
like
hates that game.
Nobody ever talks about it. Ever. I have not met...
Well, because Die Hard Arcade is the one that people have more nostalgia for.
Or if it's like Total Carnage, that's like another favorite.
When will Monster Hunter come out for the Switch? Come on, Capcom. It's a good question, honestly.
This year.
They always seem to sell well. No, it got canceled this year. I don't you remember. Well, yeah, I mean, Christian Whitehead is freaking nuts. Do I still collect and ever think about getting rid of what? Do I still collect RGT? Ever think about getting rid of what you won't play again? No. God, Jesus. I'm literally just getting rid of some crap that I've had for years that I don't really want anymore. I still do collect. I really am using the money whatever money I get from whatever I end up selling to buy stuff that I actually want. Because to me, I would rather have 2 games that I really want versus 30 games I don't really give a shit about and I'm never going to play. Fuck you guys. No, I'm not getting Nioh 2. I can't even fucking pronounce it.
I couldn't even get into the first one of that. Not my kind of game.
Which Sega console is better, Saturn or Dreamcast? For collecting, Dreamcast. For exclusives, I'll give it to the Saturn. But you can't afford 99% of them. Nobody can.
Dude, I bought this Saturn a while back from this kid in like random ass town, and his mom wanted him to get rid of it. And I pick it up, and it was an import Saturn, and it just had this booklet of like printed like burned games. And there's probably, I think, I don't know, like 200 games in there, a bunch of Japanese titles, but it was like the most random thing because like I had thought at first that it was the original disc, and I was like freaking out. But I mean, they're still playable, but I just think it's one of the randomest things I have in my collection.
What is my favorite mini arcade? I have to give it to Turtles. That's the one I seem to be playing the most. And not even necessarily for Turtles in Time. I think I like Turtles 1 more than I like Turtles in Time.
Have you played it with anybody?
Solid.
No, I don't have people come over. Isolate myself. What is the worst franchise by Nintendo in your opinion and why?
The worst franchise?
Yeah.
Arms.
Animal Crossing, because I can't even find...
Well, Arms, can Arms count? It's only one game.
Worse for me or worse for them as a business?
I guess worse for you.
Animal Crossing, because I can't get motivated to even try it. Nothing about it appeals to me.
That's tough.
I don't even want to use the characters in Smash or Mario Kart. They're just so boring looking.
Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Oh my god. That was a thing. I was thinking of Mitomo yesterday for some reason. You guys remember Mitomo? What a useless game.
Wow. How is my mom doing that during this? She's bitching because people aren't going to her bakery. Yes, news is mostly negative all the time. I usually put my right shoe on first. I am not opening up my own gaming museum. Deus Ex on the Wii U is fucking awesome. Probably the best version that released of that. Was that game re-released on PS4? Like upscaled visuals or anything? If not, I will say that that is the best version because the gamepad use.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Minecraft too lately.
Wow. Great game.
Yeah, I'm building this underground.
Final
fortress.
question. Are we going to have a Nintendo Direct in 2020? According to Jason, please run with that to the press. Everything is
Greg,
canceled.
are we going to have a Nintendo Direct? I love that you're in the middle.
Jimmy World, huh?
Are we gonna have a Nintendo Direct?
I think so. We will.
Okay.
Is that urine in that glass? It's very yellow.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
I tried my own urine as a kid.
Wow, how was it?
What? Sour
Was it lemonade?
and delicious.
You remember? Was it me that offered you lemonade? Or did you offer me lemonade?
It was you. It was before you gently whisked my hair out of my eyes and kissed me on my forehead.
I don't remember that part.
All right, I want a bowl of cereal.
What are you eating tonight?
What's
What's the cereal of the week?
Oops All Berries.
Oops,
Which
all-
is such a fucking lie. Like, how are you gonna say oops all berries? Oops, we fucked up and put all berries in here, and we do it every fucking day, and you know we've been doing it for years. Like, just call it something else. Pisses me off.
Does Oops I Did It Again piss you off too then?
No, because that's different. She only did that once.
Oh, she did it. She played with your heart.
She
thought it
play
was
with my
wrong.
heart. Play with my dick.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. What are you guys working on in your time alone?
I'm gonna play video games, and I'm gonna make videos about video games. That's pretty much it.
Great.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily gonna be alone. I'm still going to the store.
By yourself.
I gotta buy shit. I'm still go hang out with family, hang out with friends. I'm not gonna hang out with friends. I hang out with family.
Greg.
Don't really have much going on this week. Work is going to be super interesting. So we'll see about that.
You seem very enthused and motivated.
Yeah, I just don't know what this week is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do.
My livelihood depends on meeting people in person, so I have to
Hello, Greg.
do
Nice
some
to meet you.
Skype interviews here.
Yeah. You'll probably see a lot from me this week, especially once I end up alone after Wednesday. A lot of videos planned. Hey J Eats. I'm working on a new Hey J News, a special Hey J News for this crazy time. A Hey J review just launched yesterday, so do check that out. And there's going to be lots of streams. We're going to be finishing up, hopefully, Lament of Innocence, Castlevania Lament of Innocence tomorrow. Doing more difficult stuff in Hollow Knight, and I'll probably be streaming other random stuff throughout the week. So,
Setting up a GoFundMe.
what's that?
Huh? I said in setting up a GoFundMe.
Nah, I won't do it. But yeah, thank you all for joining. We'll see you on the next Class vs. Grass Gaming podcast next Sunday. Until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
Keep it classy.
or as Greg would say,
A little bit of both.
have a good night, everyone.